Thank you for that, Richard. You'll just bring up no sharing but my face, please. Thank you. I hope that's got everyone in the mood. I'm proud to open this event where we provide you with information on the upcoming Green Shoots Startup Pitch Competition, powered by Gulfood Green, taking place in Dubai from 24th to 26th of September this year. We'll be telling you today about how you can take part in the Green Shoots competition, but also where the winner stands to gain as much as $50,000 in prize fund money. But the team is also being supported by a number of us who are involved in Pitch Lounge, as our regular online events. This includes Sasha Dutta from Food Hack Dubai, the marketing strategizer, and her more recent company, Foodpreneurs Collective, and also Miraj Ahmed, who's in the call today as well from Hammerhead Global, Diane Fermin Roda from Food Hack Dubai and Get This Done, and also Richard Sieber, who's joined us again recently, come back and works with us at Pitch Lounge. So in today's session, we'll cover Green Shoots panels and workshops, eligibility for the pitch competition, and exhibition packages, the pitch competition criteria, process, and also the timeline and key dates involved in the pitch competition. But we'll also, at the end, for 10-15 minutes, also provide some support to create a successful application. So we'll have 2 or 3 speakers speaking for 5 minutes each to help you, maybe with some templates, some framework, some guidance on how to both prepare a decent investor pitch deck and also how to prepare a 1-minute elevator video pitch. So then we'll finish the session with the Q&A at the end. So yeah, so I've got we've got to be handing over to first the agenda. Sorry, I'll go to the agenda. So which had just been covered. So go on to the next section, please, Richard. So here, the team that I have gone through now. Now we want to introduce Jafar Shuba, who's a commercial director, the food cluster at the Dubai World Trade Center. He's been making an impact there for over 4 years, and has more than a decade of experience in the global events industry. Jafar is known for driving commercial success and fostering innovation. At the DWTC, he plays a key role in the strategic growth of major events, helping to solidify Dubai's reputation as a leading global hub for business and trade. It's now a great pleasure to hand over to Jafar to explain more about Gulfood Green. Jafar.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are. Thank you very much for joining us today. I'll just start by introducing who we are as an organization. We are the Dubai World Trade Center, or the DWTC. We are part of the Dubai government, and we reflect the ambitions of the country to continue to be a global hub for trade and investment. And within the Dubai World Trade Center, I work within the food cluster. We are known for some very important and large trade shows, such as Gulfood, which is now the biggest annual food event in the world. We also have other food events like Gulfood Manufacturing, which is one of the biggest food manufacturing and ingredients events in the world. And we have many other food-related trade shows that we organized in Dubai, but also now in the GCC and further afield in other parts of the world. The reason we've launched Gulfood Green is because we have been looking at two issues. One is health and sustainability. The tagline of the event is good for you, good for the planet. We've been wanting to run an event that really focuses and brings to the forefront the challenges and the growing trends around health and nutrition, but also climate and the impact that our food systems have on the world. And of course, because it's such an important issue, and because we aren't able to accommodate the sort of startup investor profile within our existing events, they would just really completely get swamped. We created the event to partly help startups scale up and also help investors identify and find interesting, innovative startups that could potentially change the food industry for the future. And so at the event, you will see some very large corporations that are responsible for food security and for trade in various healthy food products in this country. Typically, for example, fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, but also plant-based foods and alternative proteins and similar kind of products. We're also looking at agri-tech. So you'll have on the one hand large corporations, government organizations such as, for example, Dubai Ports, Dubai Municipality, or the Food Tech Valley here in Dubai. You will also have international medium-sized and startups at the event. And the idea is to bring the entire ecosystem together for each other to share knowledge and to meet each other and really focus on sustainability and health for once, rather than just pure trade. I hope that's a good introduction for the event. Of course, there's lots more information on the website. Within the Gulfood Green program, we have the Green Shoots initiative, which is meant to help startups and really help them connect with investors and present their solutions. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jaffa. I'm going to now talk about the workshops and the panels. So first of all, I'll talk about the panels. We've got an exciting series of panel discussions taking place on the 24th and 25th of September, 2 panels in each day. Our panels would explore cutting edge of food and beverage innovation. They're designed to provide valuable insights on scaling food and beverage startups and delve into the emerging plant-based market trends across the different regions globally. We'll also discuss key collaboration opportunities in food and beverage innovation and offer practical advice on raising investment locally. Finally, we'll take a closer look at the latest trends in agtech, sustainability and climate initiatives, offering a comprehensive view of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead in the industry. You won't want to miss these thought-provoking conversations. And can we have the next slide up? So I can just talk about some of the panelists we've got so far. So this is our stellar lineup of panelists so far. We have Jennifer Stokjovic. She's a powerhouse VC general partner, best-selling author in the US, or globally, I guess, but she's based in the US, and brings her insights as the founder of the Vegan Women's Summit in the US. I've met her several times. I've seen her, and she's a keynote speaker as well. So very well known in the wider food tech, ag tech, plant-based space. I've also got global food futurist Tony Hunter, who will share his visionary perspectives on the future of food. We have Indy Kaur, who I know from the UK, an expert in plant-based consumer insights, offering a strategic view on the market trends. She works across a lot of Europe and US as well. So it's great that we're going to get her coming over to the UAE for this. Then I've got Neil Potts, co-founder of the Virga company, and he's co-founder of other companies. I think he's been a founder 3 times. So he's got a lot of knowledge and experience. So he's going to be on one of our panels. And then I've got Monique Naval, who's a global projects lead at Euromonitor International, specializing in the dairy and plant-based space. So rounding up these expert panel, and hopefully we'll have lots more to announce over the coming weeks. So watch this space. Along with our panels, we have 4 in-depth workshops spread over the 2 days, designed to equip you with essential skills and insights. These sessions will cover everything from mastering investor pitching techniques and developing cost-effective sales and branding strategies to prepare crucial financial documents for investor meetings. It's including partner ecosystem management, We'll also dive into founder well-being and stress management. These workshops are crafted to help you navigate the complexities of the industry and set you up for success. And this is all about our workshops and panel discussions. So thank you. And let's introduce our confirmed workshop facilitators. First, we've got Elena Suchu, who brings her expertise as a pitch coach and judge, guiding startups through effective pitching strategies. We've got Jamal Maxey, who you've heard from at the beginning, our project manager and pitch competition head, will also lead a workshop sharing his deep knowledge of the competition process. And finally, we've got Iñas Galveles, who we're going to hear from shortly, known for strategic insights in the industry, rounding out our team of facilitators. So each of them is dedicated to helping you refine your skills and maximize your impact at the event. So handing over to Jamal now to tell you more about the pitch competition.
Thank you, Sasha. Just adding something to the last bit. Both me and Ignaz, you'll hear from Ignaz and Elena shortly. We'll be more involved in the pre-event stage, but also Elena will be running a workshop at the event itself. It's Tony Hunter that'll be involved, not Tony Parenta. Sorry, the name was slightly wrong there. But the other three workshop leaders are definitely in place. So Elena, Miraj, and Mikhail. So yeah, moving on to the pitch competition. This is fantastic that this has been organized. I think Jaffa told me previously that they'd not done something like this for 5 years. So they're really excited to be doing this. They really want to make it a real success. They're expecting as many as 100 startups in the startup zone. And what we're going to be shortlisting as many as 15 startups for the actual pitch competition events, which will cover the kind of timeline of that and the format a bit later. And then there's a fantastic prize fund, so it's good that they've arranged this. Yeah, now we're going to just cover the elements of the pitch competition, so eligibility, and judging criteria, and the judges, and then the timeline and process. We'll cover that now in this section of the info session. Next, please, Richard. So yeah, firstly, actually, it's important to touch upon and reflect back of both of the video you saw, but also what Jaffa introduced regarding Gulfood Green, and these 7 terms that you can see on screen are the pillars or the type of startups that Gulfood Green and Green Shoots are looking for. So really impact-oriented startups. Both agri-food, but also food and beverage, not just startups in the food and beverage, in the ag tech and agricultural space, but also startups that are anything from farm to fork across that whole spectrum of startups. They are very welcome to be involved. In terms of the pitch competition, we're interested in evaluating impact-oriented startups, but in any of these areas, and most of your startups will be covering one, or if not more, or all of these areas. Some startups, so health and nutrition, tech innovation, food loss and food waste, supply chain resilience, food security, sustainability, and environmental impact. So as long as you touch one of those, at least in our book, you're eligible to apply. Moving on, Richard. So in terms of eligibility, as I just mentioned, so it's agri or food and beverage startup, impactful. And the third and last thing is we want you to be one of the startups that's exhibiting in the startup zone at Gulfood Green. And this is really important for us to really have that engagement and make the pitch competition really a kind of a special treat for those that are part of that exhibition cohort. So now we'll touch upon that. There's 2 exhibition packages. One is a small one, approximately $1,500 US for a 2.2 meter little startup pod, or you can have one of those double, which is a whole corner of that floor area. You can see that red square. You get a whole corner of that red square. You get 2 sides, two table spaces there, and that's effectively a 4 meter by 1 meter area space for you, and we're calling that an upgraded pod, and that's $2,500 USD. So if you are interested in that, we'll drop in the registration link for getting one of those pods in the chat, and also the ability to book in a session with me and kind of go through that process and to check whether it's the right stage for you, whether it's something that's affordable for you, etc. Like, I'm really open. I'd really like to just have this an opportunity to get to know some of you. So if you're anyway interested, please do book me in and check out that form. They're the two options for exhibition packages. If the price point scares you, in addition to flying in and doing accommodation and the opportunity cost, still book a call with me, okay? I'd love to have a chat with you and see what we can do. So yeah, there's my booking links in the Zoom chat. So moving on quickly to the judging criteria. There's 5 areas across the judging criteria, and we'll be implementing and using this for both the scoring and the shortlisting process, as well as also providing this judging criteria for the judges that'll be in place live at the live event for the final 15 startups. They'll also be using the same criteria as well. So that's, of course, innovation, market, business model, traction, and team. We're also going to paste the longer version of the judging criteria. We will be pasting also in the chat just in a few seconds as well. Moving along, Richard, thank you. So now moving on to some of the judges we have. We've got some fantastic judges, internationally based. Some are based in the UAE, but also a larger number of them are international, representing significant investment funds, investing in both ag and food tech. So there's Eric Sieber, one of our judges from Peakbridge VC. We've also got Yana Elkova. She's actually with the Ministry of Economy, the United Arab Emirates government, and she'll be joining us as well. We're very grateful to have her involvement as a judge. We've got Daniel Scaven-Ruben, who runs a really successful Food Tech Weekly mailing list and is a frequent attendee at many expos and conferences on food tech. And he's representing Solvable Syndicate, the angel syndicate for food tech investments. We've got Sharon Sitoni. She's frequently a judge and also mentor with the Rockstart Agri-Food VC fund, as well as many others, and she'll also be joining us. We've got Jennifer Stojkovic. She's a VC and has her own VC fund called Joyful Capital, and she's also runs the Vegan Women's Summit in the US, and is a founder in her own right and a fantastic speaker. And lastly, on our call today as well, we've got Elena Situ, pitch coach and judge who's regularly worked with us at Pitch Lounge. She's also more recently worked across multiple cohorts on the Mass Challenge Switzerland competition. So she comes with a lot of experience in judging and startup support, and she'll also be running a workshop potentially on the financial aspects of investor pitch decks. That's the judges as it stands. We might have a few more because there are 4 pitch events over the 2 days. So it might be that we make that team a little bit longer than just 6. It might be as close to 10 judges, maybe sharing the burden of the 4 events. Next, please, the timeline. So we've got the process, the submission requirements, the format, and the dates for the pitch competition. So in terms of the process, many of you on this call today have already expressed interest. So you've done that by filling out a form on our website or joining the info session today or joining the LinkedIn event page. And we thank you for your interest. It may not be crystal clear. It may have only been in the small print or further down a page or something, that an exhibition package is a requirement, is part of the eligibility to be able to take part in the pitch competition and be considered and part of the shortlisting stage. So, if that's an issue, please still reach out to me because we still like to hear that you're still interested, and we can see what we see. We think we've already sold 35 packages already. I think that's right, Jeffer. And so we're relatively confident, as is usually the case at Gulfood, that the exhibition space will sell out. What we're wanting is to get that number up as high as we can by the pitch competition deadline for applications, which is the 19th of August, to give us a lot of time to work with you and time to also shortlist the best from the cohort. So after this event, we will send you a follow-up email with an official invitation to apply if you haven't already. But even the ones of you who have already applied and have already got an exhibition booth will still follow up as well and just make it clear what are the submission requirements that you might not have met yet. So you can do that on the Pitch Lounge website, pitchlounge.net/green shoots. On there's a very simple short form where you can upload your pitch deck. Some of you have chosen to do so, some of you haven't. I did make it optional, so at least you could express interest. So there's quite a few of you I need to follow up and then now get that pitch deck. And this second element is also not just the investor pitch deck, as you can see from the submission requirements column, but also a 60-second pitch video. Now, many of you might find that scary, and that might slow you from applying. I wouldn't overthink it too much. We're just looking for something in where it enables you the chance to convey some of your personality as a founder, not necessarily your personal life, but just communicate about your business and what it's working on and the impact that it has, and to see that energy and passion from you within that pitch, with some structure too. We're going to cover that a little bit later in the session. How to deliver a 1-minute elevator pitch, and we're running that by WeTransfer to our email account. So that's the second aspect of the application process. Believe me, this is far more simple than something like a mass challenge application process. And why that video is useful is as soon as we shortlist you, we'll be using those videos. The 15 of you that get shortlisted, those videos immediately then we'll get announced that you've been shortlisted, and we'll share them. So there's the added pressure there in a sense. It will be something that will be shared on social media. You can always potentially send us an updated version if you want to maybe improve, build upon it and improve on it. And we have got some skills within the team and the wider team that can help you create that video and to put in the best application that really puts your best foot forward as a startup. I mean, we'll kind of, to some degree, we'll do it with you, for you, but we have to also be mindful that we're involved in the process. But we can help to some degree. If someone needs help, maybe editing a video or something like that, please get in touch with us separately. We can maybe help with that. So the live pitching format. What is it? So we're going to have, as I said before, a number of events. In total, there's going to be 4 events. But more importantly, the pitching format at those events. At the semifinals, it's quite a short, teaser pitch, essentially. It's a 3-minute pitch presentation followed by a 2-minute Q&A with the judges. Now, the reason for that is it's going to be quite a busy expo. There's a lot of programming happening, and people's attention spans are not what they are, for instance, if they've joined a very focused event like today. So that's how we're doing it. That's how we've seen it done very effectively at other expos, and that's what we're doing for the semi-final round. Now, in the final, what will happen is that one of you from each of the semi-final will advance to the final. So we'll have 3 finalists in total, and there you'll get a chance to pitch at a longer duration. In a sense, you will still have to start again because the audience might change and also the panel might change. So it will be you doing a longer version of your investor pitch presentation, and then you'll have a slightly longer period as well with the judges. So that's the format, and it'll be live on stage. There's no doing a remote pitch. We do want people coming, leaving their exhibition stall to one of their colleagues or leaving it safely be, and then heading over to the stage ready for their pitch. So we really want it as a live, physical, in-person experience. Okay. So sadly, there's no possibility for remote pitching. However, saying that, we do run other online events. So if you do find it for whatever reason you can't make it to these expo, do reach out to us, because we do have some of the recommendations for online event opportunities, both from others, but also run by Pitch Lounge, where we can give you some online event pitching experience, but also the connection and exposure to investors, both in your region, but also internationally. So what are the key dates? If you can just roll the thing slightly down, Richard, because I can't quite see the bottom. So the key dates, thank you. The key dates are, we got the deadline on the 19th of August. So it's coming up a week Monday at midnight Dubai time. We'll then be shortlisting the top 15 by the end of August, Friday the 30th of August, by the early afternoon, and then sending you over the result if you've been successful, and even letting you know if you've not. In both cases, we'll be letting you know the next steps, and there'll be some next steps as well for those who've not been successful. For the ones that have been successful, you then enter a remote coaching rehearsal period, where we will organize a group coaching call, but we'll also provide one-on-one rehearsals, a week or 2 before the event, where you can pitch to us and we can give you some feedback, and it can make sure that you've got some practice pitching to time. And you're going to have to pitch twice as well. You have to pitch pitch at the shorter time of 3 minutes and the longer time of 5 minutes, and check that you're ready for both formats. The reason for that is because, as you can now see in terms of the timeline of events, we've got 3 semifinals, 2 on the Tuesday, 1 around lunchtime, 1 in the early afternoon, which is definitely kind of peak time, really. That's fun. And then we've got another one on Wednesday, followed quickly by the final an hour later. So you will need to be polished and ready to present both versions of your investor pitch. And although Gulfood Green is a 3-day event, the pitch competition and startup zone and startup stage panels and workshops will at present be taking place across the 2 days, the first 2 days. That's it from process, submission, format, and dates. Now moving on to the guidance and support section of the event. Moving on, please, Richard. So we've got 3 people that will help you within the application stage, including some other members of our team. Maybe who can help you with to help you with some kind of maybe graphic design or branding update or video editing. But the 3 today that will be just pitching, they'll be presenting very, very quickly. One will be Elena. She'll be just talking about the Guy Kawasaki pitch deck framework. Then I'll be touching upon a pitch deck feedback tool called Fornax AI. Then I'll touch upon the Founder Institute elevator pitch template or the framework. And then we're going to have Ignas Calvelis, who's one of our former presenters actually on Pitch Lounge with his e-commerce startup. He'll be presenting a different tech app that he's developed, which is a fantastic app for practicing your pitches live, submitting it, and then getting instant feedback written on the quality of the pitch. So 3 members of us now, just giving like 3 to 5 minutes each, and giving you some support. So we can hand over first to Elena. Elena, the Guy Kawasaki method. Elena.
Yes, hello everybody. Thank you so much for having me, Jamal and the team. Do you have actually the template that I sent to you, or how should we? Yeah,
just continue. I think you either have to request remote access or Richard needs to give it to you. You've got the slides on screen. Your slides are there and they're ready.
Actually, I can. Yeah. All right. So if Richard can go through the slides one by one, I can also.
That's fine. Just say next each time. Yeah.
I'm presenting very quickly, so I will not have too much time on this. So Guy Kawasaki template is recommended with 10 slides. Vision, elevator pitch. I'm just going to read the titles. Traction and validation, market opportunity, the problem, product, service, and solution, competition, revenue model, marketing growth strategy, the team, financials, investment, of course, the contact details, and if you have a thank you slide. Exactly. So I have added underneath some guidelines that you will need to be prepared to hand over to your investor in terms of executive summary, technical documentation, a business plan, detailed financial model, detailed market research. And yeah, that's actually where I want to spend a little bit of time explaining that these are the core slides. Guy Kawasaki also came with a golden rule, 30 minutes presentation, 30 fonts per slide, 20 minutes presentation, and 10 slides, which they say 11 slides is also okay. 30-point font, this is for presentation deck, and a 20 minutes presentation means you have 10 minutes to present and 50 minutes question and answer. So this type of rule was going around from 2016, I think, until now. People are keeping it as a benchmark, how good you are in presenting and delivering a pitch, and investors really like this methodology, and everybody kind of adopted this. What I wanted to say, I would like to make a point and bring more clarity on the investment deck presentation, because what is asked from the startups who will apply will be to create a reading deck. So for a reading deck, you should focus on 3 main ideas per slide as per Guy Kawasaki guidelines, and provide thorough explanation incorporating narrative text for clarity. In contrast, a presentation deck should also prioritize 3 key ideas per slide, but it should replace the narrative text with engaging images and concise bullet points text. The common denominator for both formats is the emphasis on conveying 3 key ideas per slide, tailored to your respective audience and purpose. So I really support the fact that a reading deck should not have more than 3 main ideas per slide. However, we have to keep it neat, and we should not clutter a reading deck with too much information. I think this is a brief guidance on the Guy Kawasaki methodology, and if you would like to learn more, I'm open to answer any question you might have. Thank you.
Thanks, Elena. Yeah, so we put in some links on the screen. If you can go to the next slide, please, Richard, because there was a final slide. Thank you. Yeah. So there, if you scan the QR code, you can go through to Elena's profile and reach out to her. We'll also put her profile link in the chat as well shortly. Now quickly moving on to our next tool. And that is, once you've created your deck, or even if you've got a current version of your deck that you are currently selling to investors, or you currently is your business deck, then you always have the option to use some fantastic new feedback tools. And I have been using one, which is called Fornix AI. It's a pitch deck feedback tool. I'm just about to put in the link into the chat shortly. And it's really great. Like, it really gives you slide-by-slide analysis, but even actually industry analysis as well. If you've got some slide that's talking about the size of the market and so on, it'll even give you feedback on that. So it's a fantastic large language model derived pitching feedback tool. The referral link is in the chat. Next slide, please. Oh yeah. So the next thing I'll cover quickly will be the Founder Institute elevator pitch video template too. So in terms of Fornix, so it gives you slide-by-slide instant feedback on your pitch deck, and it helps you more effectively communicate your ideas to investors. This is how it looks on the right. I'm not going to play a video now, but I will put the video link in. If you can put the video link in the chat, people can maybe save in an extra tab later, and they can have a watch of that. But do consider it and sign up. Next slide, Richard. Yeah, so this is the proof that I use it. So I use it for some of the pitch coaching clients that I'm working with, and I'm quite honest that I'm using it as well. I said, this is the feedback we're getting, and I obviously add to it and bring in my own experience in addition. And what's also quite important, stay on that slide, please, stay on that slide, is that they're only about, they're less than a year old. I mean, I've known about them since last November. I've been using them since last December. And they're just about to increase their pricing tier at the end of the month. So at the moment, it's like $54 for lifetime access. And I've just signed up for that. Just got the mailing list, just got the newsletter through about it. And I was like, oh, should do this. Because at the end of this month, September the 1st, all their prices go up, and it'll be $129 for one-time payment for lifetime access. So check it out. I think you can anyway use it for free to like upload maybe like 1 or 2 decks and get some analysis on 1 or 2 as a trial. You always got the month by month option. But if you like it, just sign up before the end of August would be my suggestion, because it's really, really nifty and useful. Yeah. You can scan the QR code on screen right now, just to get that in one of your tabs, just so you can follow through with that that support later. If you've got the paid version, you can upload multiple decks, like up to like 30 or 50 or 100 per month, something like that. Next tool is the Founder Institute Elevator Pitch template. I'm not going to go through this too much now more, because I want to give some time to Ignas and give time at the end of the session for Q&A. But you can see that there's it goes beyond the value proposition statement. So it goes really beyond that, and gives a little bit of information also about the market and maybe some competitors and so on. So it's a bit more information than just delivering an elevator, delivering a value proposition statement. But this is intended as a framework for a 1 minute pitch, right? So like as if you were going up an elevator. So we will put these links in the chat, and they will also go into the follow-up email as well, and into a kind of curriculum space that we're going to send you a link to for anyone that's expressing interest in applying, so you've got access to these resources in case you need it, if you're being particularly apprehensive about the video pitch. Yeah. Next, Richard. And now a great pleasure to hand over to Ignas Cavalis, and I'll allow him to introduce his pitch feedback tool. Thanks, Ignas. Ignas, are you ready? Make sure you're unmuted. If not, he did join the call. If he's not ready, then we're going to have to skip and maybe send you a video of his presentation demo instead. He is in with us. We'll check he's yeah, he's co-host.
All right, guys. Sorry about that.
Thanks.
I got control of the screen instead, and I was trying to unmute myself, and there was no control.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Do you
Anyway.
prefer if I
Yeah. If you can control the slides, I will just go through the presentation quickly. So let's go to the first slide. All right. So essentially, as a founder, and worked in several startups, I've also presented a lot, and I found this challenge that well, you can practice on your own your pitches. You can practice, in front of the mirror. You can practice maybe with friends and family, but the feedback you're going to get is probably not what you want with investors. And then when you do go to the investors and you do a pitch, you might get no feedback at all. So it's really great that there are these events that you can organize and attend them, but it's like a chance, in a long period of time. So you do need to have a way to practice things and get good feedback. And be able to repeat on the feedback. Move on, next slide. So I've developed this tool. I'm an AI engineer. I worked at Klarna and a lot of other startup companies. I know how to use AI very well. I implemented a tool where you can record your pitch, and then you get a detailed report and actionable insights. And then again, you can deal with the kind of a simplistic feedback, and then essentially you improve, you keep this cycle. Next slide. So the evaluation is, fairly detailed. So the main points that we focus is, clarity. Does the investor actually understand what you would say? Is it direct to the point? Is it really captivating the audience? And does it give you the impact, sufficient impact for you to actually get the investment? So let's move on to the next slide and we'll do short demo. So I'm going to share my screen now. And I will show you how the tool works. So this is the tool. I'll share the link later, but just to show you how to do a quick pitch presentation, and you know what is the feedback, right? So let's say I'm a software developer and founder. I have been doing pitches and was not getting good feedback from investors or family. So I built this new tool that helps me practice my pitches by recording what I say and then evaluating it with large language model. Now everybody can practice their pitches and get instant, detailed, and unbiased feedback. So you record your pitch, and then the evaluation happens, and you get a detailed feedback. So we can, you know, have a feedback here. So you can see the score is fairly low, which means there's, you know, a lot of practice there. But for example, for clarity, it's, you know, fairly clear. Not the best score, but you know, clearly a bit of a strength of the pitch. And then you can, you know, see all the other points, and you can get, you know, get the reasons why you get such feedback, and also suggestions. So suggestions tell you what you can improve, and each time you get the same, you know, categories of scores, which means that you can constantly track your improvement. And also, we do not use your pitches, you know, to steal your ideas. So it's certainly, we have a privacy policy, and we make sure that it's only being used to improve the tool. It's a free tool, so feel free to use to improve it for your impactful investment pitch. Thank you very much, and please move to the next slide, and you will, if you can share the screen and show the last slide for the contacts. Next. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch if you need any AI software development services, and, you know, happy to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nils. So yeah, the link is being pasted in the chat now as well, by me as well. And I hope that's been helpful in terms of the resources that are available to you. And the rehearsal stage, as I said before, you'll get some group coaching, potentially a group coaching session from Elena, but also some one-on-one rehearsals with me and other members of the Pitch Lounge team. But now is a chance to hand over to all of you guys for some Q&A time. So if you've got any questions, you can drop your questions in the chat, or you can even unmute yourself and or raise your hand. Maybe you can use the emoticons, the reactions, and we can do it that way. But if anyone's got any questions, now is your time to ask those questions. And I will put the links back in as well for the pitch competition in the meantime, and we will send out a recording of this session and all the links that we've discussed earlier or so far will be included.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Jonathan, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the awesome presentation. Yeah, my question is I just want to know if there are specific criteria to selecting startups that we're pitching for this, like specific criteria aside from the normal procedures that you have outlined, which has to do with summation of interest, and then there is going to be a selection. Then afterwards, the semi-finals, then finals. So what are the criteria aside from the process, the normal due process for startup to pitch in this event? What are the other, like, are there specific criteria, right, to getting or selecting startups? Are there specific criteria in terms of aside from the fact that startup ideas must be green inclined, right? They must be green inclined. Are there specific criteria? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Well, we do have I will share my screen. There is a wider judging criteria which makes things a little bit clearer. I did cover the 5 points earlier. So this is the 5 points. Thanks for putting on screen, Richard. But I will there is a wider obviously detail across each of those. So in a sense, there's 3 general areas. Innovation disruption will be kind of 30% of how you're judged, impact and sustainability, 30%, team and execution, 30%, and then maybe the quality of and the delivery of your video will be about 10%. The reason for that is that gives a strong indication of how effective and engaging you'll be as a live presenter on stage, because it's not only a competition on who's most innovative, it's also an entertainment and an engaging spectacle, right? So presentation and delivery will also be important. It's that aspect of it's that 1 minute video which allows us to evaluate you in terms of presentation and delivery. Hence why us having shared the IGNAS feedback tool today and the Found Institute framework, which I'll share around by email. But you can see the 5 areas on screen. Yes, we care about innovation and disruption. So how novel is the solution? So does your agri-food tech solution address a critical need in the food system with a unique and innovative approach? The disruptive potential, does the solution have the potential to significantly change the current landscape of the agri-food tech industry? I'm just going to share my slide actually for a second. So there is a detailed judging feedback, and this is it, and you can see that in terms of the shortlisting process, we'll take these into account when we're looking through your detailed investor pitch deck, and then also the other research we do on your kind of the basic due diligence and research we do on your business. Will enable us to think about these 3 areas and then score you accordingly. So does that answer your question, Jonathan? We can also we can send you a link to this, a PDF of this, in the email follow-up to the event, okay?
Okay, yeah, that answered my question. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, one more.
No, can you put it, just check whether someone else has got a question first, and then just hold that thought, okay? Does anyone else got a question before we go back to Jonathan for a second question?
Okay, thank you.
If not, we can go back to Jonathan. Jonathan, go on then. Second question, fire away. You're helping us with engagement here. Community learning.
Okay, are you saying I can go ahead?
Yes, please ask the question. Yeah, if you can turn your video on, that would be nice.
Okay.
If possible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. My second question is, do you have a preference for startups based on region, based on location? Because I'm from Nigeria, in West Africa here. So do you have preference for startups based on their region, their location?
That's a great question. Sorry, I didn't cover that in the 50 minutes that we presented already. Absolutely, we're open to startups from everywhere. Actually, Gulfood Green really wants to foster and really wants to welcome an international and diverse mix of startups. So in addition to obviously attracting a lot of interest from Dubai and UAE and the Gulf, we're really wanting to facilitate and incorporate as many international-based startups involved in the event as possible. We've already had events startups registering already from continental Europe, from the US, from the UK, and elsewhere. And we are open to startups representing any region, any country. We've got international funds involved, and even the UAE and the Gulf investment funds that are involved in the event are also open and considering international investments, not just local and regional investments. But thank you very much for that. I'll make sure I highlight that a bit more. I'll actually highlight that and include that in the follow-up email. Thanks, Jonathan. Any other questions before we wrap up the event? And I'm always open to questions. Afterwards, yeah. Next question.
This is Imran here from.
Hi, Imran. Thanks for signing up. Wonderful that you've signed up for an upgraded pod.
Thanks. So just a quick one. For the 1 minute video, is there limitation for the number of people that can be doing the pitch? Is it one person, or can it be more than one person?
No, I think it's fine.
Because like you said, you said it was, it's more for show. It's more of a show to capture interest. It's entertainment in its way also. I'm thinking a little bit out of the box as well. So that's why I wanted to know.
We were actually having that conversation yesterday with one of the team about whether this video could come in different formats. Look, I'm open. Like, send me something that's a minute long. But it would definitely. My preference is in that video. I don't want it just to be like a promo video that's brand building. I really want to see and hear from the founders on the call. So if there's more than one, even great. If you can get them in that minute. But bear in mind, you also want to convey your value proposition in that 1 minute. You want to also use it as a communicative tool, not just a, hey, here's my team. It's not that type of video, okay? But yes, if there's more than one of you sharing the content and you're appearing in that video, that's fine by me. We'll provide a simple video brief by tomorrow in the follow-up email, okay? But we won't be too prescriptive, and we will be open to there being more than one founder in the video. Yes.
Amazing. Thanks.
Good question. Great question. We have to hit the hour mark, so if I don't want to keep people, but you got something to say?
There are a few questions in the chat.
Yeah,
there are a few questions.
There are. Oh, fantastic. Okay, let's reel through them very quickly then. Okay, Insaf, thank you. Oh, great to have you back after presenting on our online events. Nice to have you here. If you have a hardware product, would that be a chance to showcase it and do a live demo? Absolutely. I mean, particularly, you can do that obviously from your exhibition stand. So that's one thing. And if it's something that's feasible to have on stage during your pitch, then possibly. But you have to obviously organize that in advance. We have had we have an Imran who just spoke, we're facilitating a freezer for him so he can have his ice creams at his booth, but also potentially on stage. So there is a possibility for us to interact with you to make that pitch as engaging as possible. And if you have a hardware product startup, but still in food and ag tech, then absolutely we can facilitate that. Yeah, thanks for the question. Yes, we'll be sharing the recording of today's info session in a follow-up email. That's Shahar. Yeah, thanks for your question. Could be presentation. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. That's it from the questions. I do want to end on time just because I'm mindful of my team's time and your team's time. Unless anyone's got a burning question that they're absolutely dying to ask. They were actually good questions so far. We'll just put back up the final slides with our contact information. But thank you for joining us. Really, really great that you've come and joined us of an afternoon. Have a lovely evening, those that are based in the UAE. Great rest of your day, those elsewhere. And I look forward to having many of you reach out and to signing up for the pitch competition. Any questions, please just email them over and we'll be more than happy to help. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.